Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly, email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2015 in homage to an original that debuted in 1952. This is the Omega Constellation Globemaster in yellow gold. The watch pays tribute to the original pie-pan dial chronometer constellations in ways that are subtle and overt, and we'll go over all of those. First, this is a relatively rare version of the Globemaster, which is itself a fairly uncommon Omega. It's rare because it features a full yellow gold case, which is 39 millimeters in diameter, 12.7 millimeters thick, and 46.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now you can see on my wrist, the watch is very narrow. It comes nowhere near the edges, and I'm strapping it down fairly tightly. The watch is low enough to fit underneath the cuff. You'll have no problems there. And I'd recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Again, it can hold up well on a bigger wrist, but I think what really makes this watch magical is just how short the tonneau-like case is from side to side. That mitigates against fit issues on smaller wrists. Now, the watch includes a strap that is high-grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather in medium brown. It is a semi-gloss finish. There's some bolstering or stuffing adjacent to the case, so it actually swells to match the swell of the lugs. There's a lot of symmetry between the lines of the case and then the taper of the strap. It's as though these two pieces were designed together, and visually it's quite coherent. Then it thins out as you move further away. You can see on the underside it's calfskin, and also that it is a brand new Omega factory strap. The buckle is a familiar piece to Omega fans. It's been in service since the early 2000s, but the reason for that is that it's a smart piece. Now, it has twin triggers, so it can't pop open. It's not friction fit. You have to press both of them to open this. We have a combination of polish and satin externally. Internally, we have a combination of engine turning and satin, and you can see it is Omega branded. We also have a little system that allows you to tuck the strap in. So you tuck it in, you buckle it down, and then all the excess length is taken up underneath the strap, so it's hidden. It's very clean when properly sized and closed. That's why there are no minder loops on the strap, and if you're wondering what those are, these are minder loops. This watch doesn't need them. The case, as I mentioned earlier, is somewhere between a round case and a tonneau. It's not classically round, and the lugs are fully integrated into the case band. We have a few well-chosen polished accents. You can see that there's a bevel that runs lengthwise on both sides. You'll also appreciate that there's a bevel on the bottom, so there's a double bevel and polished. The underside of the bezel here is also polished, and it has a very fine coining. It's similar superficially to the fluting of Rolex gold bezels, but this is a much, much finer and much more tightly spaced gear-like profile. It's like the coining that you'll find on currency. So it is quite attractive and also distinctive of the Globemaster. We have a push-down crown, but the watch is still 100 meters water resistant. The mid-case is satinated, the lug hoods are satinated, and then the coined top to the bezel is also polished. The dial features the fastening, as the originals would have been called pie-pan, and it is very pie-pan-like. We have applique indices with applique star, Omega marquee and logo, and matching hands at center. All of these are 18-karat yellow gold, so they match the case. They won't oxidize or tarnish over time. We have what's often described as an opaline dial, or a soft matte finish here in silver white. There's a faceted date window, which is good taste. If you cut straight down from a dial to a date, it often looks crude. That's why a lot of the better watches that include dates have a little step down, so it's not a sheer cut. Now, the watch is a co-axial master chronometer. It has a couple of subsidiary setting modes, one of which is hacking seconds, as you see here, and then the other one is a time zone function. The watch ticks, and it keeps time while you jump. This allows you to change your time zone as you travel without stopping the balance and throwing off precisely set seconds and minutes hands. So the balance never actually loses any amplitude, and it doesn't have to restart once you choose your new time zone. So that's very practical. Turning the watch over, you can see we actually have a hybrid material movement here. This is caliber 8901. 8900 would be the standard master chronometer version of the movement. This was born as the 8500 in 2007 on the Hour Vision, and the 8900 debuted along the series of models in the mid-2010s, and this was one of the very first. In fact, this watch was almost a year late to market after its 2015 debut because the factory building these master chronometer calibers was slow to get underway. But what sets the 8900 and the 8901 apart is the use of 18-karat gold for the rotor and 18-karat gold for the balance bridge. So those are solid gold components like you'd find on an FP Journe movement. We have a little nod to the original Constellation of the 50s, which was an observatory chronometer. This one's a master chronometer, but we still have the image of the observatory with polish and satination. The movement's an automatic winder. It has bidirectional winding action, 2 mainspring barrels, 60 hours of power reserve. It has the time zone function, the hacking seconds. The twin barrels help in more ways than just power reserve. 2 barrels in series help to ensure a more even release of torque, so you don't see the huge amplitude drop-off after, for example, 24 or 36 hours that you see on a single barrel movement like a Rolex 3235. That's the advantage of 2 barrels over 1, even if the power reserve is the same. All this pivots on 39 joules, and you can see that it is a full balance bridge with a free-sprung balance for shock tolerance. It is adjusted in 6 positions. It is timed as a fully assembled watch. The master chronometer test encompasses everything the COSC is, but it goes beyond. It's a 6-position test and a cased watch test rather than a 5-position test and a movement test. This is a fully cased test of chronometry in 6 positions, of winding efficiency, of power reserve, of water resistance, of shock resistance, and of anti-magnetism. It is not Omega exclusive. This is not the fox guarding the hens. Anyone can submit to have a watch approved as a master chronometer, and in fact, Tudor has recently done just that. The watch features an anti-magnetic escapement and an anti-magnetic silicon hairspring that effectively renders all of this amagnetic, not just anti-magnetic. Beats away at a quirky beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour that you'll see all over Swatch Group watches from all their brands that use silicon hairsprings. We have a tri-level coaxial that helps to improve power reserve, reduces maintenance requirements, and improves chronometry. Invented by George Daniels in 1974 and industrialized by Omega in 1999, it was really perfected with the debut of the 8500s back in 2007, and this watch is of the line of the 8500s. It is the most up-to-date version of that series. So this is the best coaxial Omega knows how to make, and I would even opine that it is probably still the most exotic escapement you can buy for under 50 grand. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And keep in mind that this watch, 100 meters water resistant, automatic winding, and fully loomed, is viable as a sports watch if you put it on a different strap.